course, Crystal had talked about the fundraiser she did a few years ago, and that led to us being able to go to a dinner where we heard Natalie's story for the first time. And then that helped us to grow a relationship with Hope for Justice, and it really started to get us laser focused on, okay, this is something that we can get behind. This is something that we can do in our generation to make a difference, right? And so last January, we had the opportunity to go to Cambodia with Hope for Justice and with the Young Living Foundation. And so we went there a little nervous. Crystal and I had never been to Cambodia before, so basically they're like, hey, so you're gonna get off the plane, off a 32-hour plane ride, and this guy's gonna meet you there, and he's gonna take you where you're supposed to go. And we're like, okay, I'm gonna trust that. And so yeah, like literally, there's like this guy holding up a piece of paper, like is like a torn piece of cardboard paper with my name written on it, and Crystal's name written on it, and I'm like, I'm supposed to go with this dude, right? And so
it was blind faith.
Yeah, it was blind faith. And then you get on the road and like everybody's coming at you. There's no lanes and it's just crazy. But we embraced it. It was like right there, let's go. And so then we went and we got to start. We met James and Athena Pond, who were running the school in Cambodia and the rescue center at that time. And the first day we were there, you can see in this picture right here, that's Crystal and I, but you can see there, it looks like we're coloring with some people and we're doing arts and crafts. Those girls had just been rescued from trafficking at the Vietnam border 2 days earlier. And they were happy. It was the first time in who knows how long that they weren't being abused, that they weren't being violated. They were there to be able to sit and just do artwork. Just be girls, just make bracelets, right? Make some beads, draw some pictures. It's the first time that they were able to do that, and that really impacted us. Okay, this is real, and there's something that we need to do more.
And it was in that very sweltering hot, you forgot to mention, attic.
96 degrees in January.
It was like 4 stories that I said to him when we left, we have to do something about the air conditioning situation here. These girls need to be cooler. And I was so floored by the fact that they were happy that it took me about 2 days to get over that. 2 days to just think about it and to process, what if that was my daughters sitting there? And how could they be so relieved and so happy and not be just in tears over what they just went through? What we learned, and this is something that I want you guys to know, is that the Lighthouse Assessment Center that Hope for Justice has in Cambodia is the first stop for the government. So when they rescue, they bring them to Hope for Justice's Lighthouse Assessment Center. That's their first stop. And then from there, they get counseling. They figure out which nonprofit organization that is best for the kids coming in. And it's there that we were able to see firsthand girls that were just brought in and see their faces and actually have time with them. Now, we can't share faces with you because, and that's something I think is hard, because for the last 2 years, I've been trying to tell you about what Hope for Justice is doing, and I've been trying to tell you about my trip, but I've been broken up over it, and I'm having a hard time putting it into words, and then I can't show you pictures of their beautiful faces. And it makes it hard for me to connect with you guys and say, guys, I went there. I know what it's like. I know what it looks like. And so we've been processing for about 1.5 years, and it's been hard. But at the same time, we know we've got to keep moving forward on this. And so probably one of the very, I don't know, it's almost like a dream come true for us, was to be able to stand last year at convention in front of a lot of people and say something about Hope for Justice and something about, please, would you guys link arms with us and end slavery and end trafficking? We believe it can happen. Do you? And we were able to do that right there on the stage. this is not something that is comfortable. Like, I don't feel comfortable talking about this in front of you. And quite frankly, I'm just now learning to feel comfortable on stage. I just know that this is something that God has put on our hearts to do, and that it's necessary that we let you know about it, and that we keep telling people. Because you may be sitting there thinking, I don't want to think about this today, and I really cannot give, or I can't go to Cambodia. We're not asking you to do anything more than what you can do. If it's just that you share with one other person this video that you took today, if it's just that you talk about it in your circle of friends, at the next Bible study that you're sitting at, that during prayer requests, you raise your hand and you say, I have a prayer. I pray every single day that God would ignite a fire inside of each of us. Because what would it look like if all 1,100 people in this room got a hold of this message and went back to your community, your church, your organizations, and you began to raise a banner of hope for people that are in trafficking? What would that look like? I just want you to close your eyes right now, and I want you to think about what that might look like for you. So close your eyes and think about what you could do. And while you're there, I want you to envision you doing that. Whether it be that you go and you tell your pastor, Pastor, you've never talked about this before. This is really on my heart. I really feel like we're supposed to do something with this. Maybe it's that you talk to your neighbor, and their neighbor goes, I can't believe you just said this to me. I was just thinking about this the other day. I've got to do something. You never know. That one person could light a fire underneath somebody else that has millions, or maybe they have millions of people to talk to. You never know how your one voice can make a difference.
And one thing that we have been able to surmise, and one thing that we've seen over the past few years of having a relationship with Hope for Justice and going to Cambodia and having the Young Living Foundation vet Hope for Justice with lawyers to say, okay, you know what? Not only does Hope for Justice do this well, they exceed everything. So the school that they have in Cambodia for the girls is the government standard for schools. So like, you don't understand, the educational system is in such a mess there that they came to Hope for Justice and they said, your school, what are you doing? You're doing it so well. You are a light for education. And the Lighthouse Center, where they bring everyone in that is rescued, they're first. They do it well, and they do it thoroughly. And so that put us at ease. If you're not at ease about, you want to know a little bit more about, there's plenty of education out there that we can get for you if you just contact us. But know that it has been vetted not only by us, but by Young Living as well, as a trustworthy organization. And so what we're asking you guys to do, if it's in your heart, is we have a text to give. If they can put that up on. I think that's our next slide up. It's supposed to be. So what we're going to do, you got an opportunity to text to give right now. The word is Give Freedom, and the number is 41444. So there we go. Give Freedom to 41444. Now, I'm not asking you, I'm not going to get up here and try to milk people out of their money or anything like that. All I'm asking is, what about a cup of coffee? What about a Starbucks? What's a Starbucks going to cost us other than 450 calories of yumminess, right? So would you be willing to trade 450 calories and $5 to contribute to someone's freedom today? Everybody in the room? If you're willing to do that, text to give. We're happy to see that. Young Living is already supporting the school, the Shine School there in Cambodia. They're fully funding the school. There is much more that needs to be done, more than just the school being funded. And so this goes towards that. You'll be giving exactly to Cambodia today. Everybody that's on the EOC, we would ask that as well. As I say, we're not asking for much, just asking for a cup of coffee. And in the greater scheme of things, it's a blip on our radar. It's something we don't even think about. So if you can find that within you today, we are not only happy that you would do that, but we're extremely grateful because we can make such a difference not only in this room, There's 130,000 in Jim Bob's group, plus all the people you guys are touching. There's potential for 250,000 people to be watching this right now. And a cup of coffee from 250,000 people is a lot of money, right? It's $1.25 million if you're a math person like I am. We're not asking you to give that, but if we all be one and we all do a little part like Natalie was talking about, we can make a huge difference. And that's all we want to do, is be a part and play our part and make that difference and help put a dent in the 27 million number of slaves that are trapped and enslaved in this world that we live in, producing $150 billion a year in the global slave trade. We want to see that end.
Well, I am still floored that we're standing here and we're talking about this, and this is something that we've been praying about for such a long time. And I want to say thank you to all of you for making this event happen, because it's because you decided to come here today that we could do what we're doing right now.
Absolutely.
And so I applaud you. Thank you for showing up. Thank you for being here. Thank you for listening. We could not do this without you. And this is a huge part of our heart and our calls and our why. You know how your why can change over time? Ours is like really morphed into like this thing we never ever dreamed of. So much bigger than what we can still even imagine. And even every single day we realize it's growing. And we need people to link arms with us to be able to continue to walk out our why. And we have a commitment. I mean, we are committed to the Lord to walk out whatever He asks us to do every single day. And some of that has been very hard. But we will not stop. We will not stop. And we will keep walking forward. But we need you guys with us. So how many of you are going to link arms with us in this march for ending trafficking and slavery all over the world? Yeah? You'll hear them talk about it at convention. Yeah. So you'll hear them talk about it at convention this year, but I want to make sure that you guys find out the information that you need. You can go to hopeforjustice.org if you want to learn more.
So we're going to close this part of the event right now. We just want to once again thank everyone for your time, for listening, for not only listening attentively, but listening with your hearts. I'm going to get Crystal. She is going to...
I want to thank Natalie again.
I'm going to let you do that personally.
Yeah, I just want to say thank you. I know Natalie's backstage, but I just want to say thank you to Natalie one more time. Let's give her another round of applause.